So, Carl, thank you so much for speaking with us. So, a big initiative, entering the first truck championship, in a sense. Where did that idea stem from? Is it also coming because of the fact that you are the market leaders as far as the commercial vehicle business in India is concerned?
Yeah, of course, you're always looking for something that can ignite some passion in both your employees and also with our customers and the people that are looking at us in the outside world. So when you think of trucking, not many people think of passion, yeah? It's all focused on the passenger car.
Right. So we have the opportunity here when we think about what we've got as far as our latest Primer truck to be able to start something that shows not just about the support we give to India by moving the goods and services around the country, but actually showing the technology capabilities that we've got in our latest truck, which is very capable of being a world-class racing truck. So that's where we came to.
But Carl, as far as the slowdown is concerned, many would say it's sort of all-encompassing, and Tata Motors, in a sense, you've exemplified that slowdown because it's not only your passenger vehicle sales that have been impacted, but also your commercial vehicle sales because of the overall market. So what are the 2 or 3 doable steps that Tata Motors is doing to sort of try to infuse life into your overall business?
I think we've been very clear on what we're doing, and it's 2 distinct different businesses. You quite rightly said, passenger cars, our focus is on product. In fact, in the last few days we've launched 2 new vehicles and a whole brand new family of petrol powertrains. In fact, the first time anyone's done that in India as well. So I think you've seen what's happening, and you've heard me talk quite a lot about what our plans are for the product portfolio. So that's passenger car, and that definitely is the pillar of what we want to do for changing that. As far as the commercial vehicle is concerned, it's not like we can instill any excitement to create further growth in the market. We still are the major shareholders. We've got 65% market share. It's only gone up in the last year as opposed to down. However, the size of the market is now 50% of what it was 2 years ago. And as much as we've done to try and portray ideas to the government of what can be done to be able to assist not just Tata Motors but the industry as a whole, then I think we realise we're going to have to wait until post-election times before any of that can be considered seriously. So we really are in a wait and watch situation as far as commercials are concerned.
When we look at the numbers, the quarterly numbers, Carl, of Tata Motors on a standalone basis, that's where many people would raise concerns. Last quarter, you reported a loss of over 800 crores. Your overall EBITDA margins was 0.9%, which would be among the lowest as far as any other Indian OEM is concerned. In terms of profitability, improving your balance sheet, what are the steps that you're doing?
They're nothing new. I mean, I'm not going to come up with a new idea of how you end up restructuring the company. We know that our company has grown. It's grown in individual packages across the country, really, and therefore now we've done a lot of consolidation to make sure that we operate as one company. In fact, the amalgamation of thinking for passenger car and commercial vehicle in the engineering and purchasing, etc. So all of these things are driving huge savings and huge efficiencies into the company, and they're the right things to do, and they're long-lasting. They're not just for the time while you're in downturns. But I think it's important at the same time that whilst you're driving efficiencies in, you're making sure that we're in the business of cars and trucks, and it's important for us to still spend our money on ensuring that we're bringing the right cars and trucks to both India and the global markets. Again, one of our growth items that we've talked about is balancing the portfolio. We're heavily focused in India, and we have cars and trucks that are globally competitive. However, we don't have a huge share in the export market. So again, we've opened up 5 new countries for export in the last few months, and we'll continue to do that going forward. So it's not something about what we're doing in this time of being down. We're using this time because it enables us to be able to make some of these changes during this situation.
Right, because the concern that investors have also raised, Carl, is in terms of your standalone debt levels, which was about 19,000 odd crore rupees. Ashok Leyland, on the other hand, which is a debt level of 1/3 of what Tata Motors is, they have sort of galvanized into action, and they've announced that they would be looking at sale of non-core assets apart from various other steps. In terms of bringing down your debt levels, is there a strategy within the company that you want to bring it down gradually by this level up, within this range of time?
Of course, we're a company that has 5-year business plans, and we have 5 years financial statements as well. So it's not that we wonder what happened today and now let's work on that tomorrow. So of course we have that. We won't be selling off things that are good things for us to have in the future. We won't be stopping product development because that's what we should do today. It's very important. India's a cyclical business. Yeah. What's happened in the past, we've had our downturns, and we've already seen, I think, 3 times now that we've returned to a 15% CAGR immediately after the downturn. So we need to be frugal. We need to make sure we're doing the right things. We need to make sure we're spending our money on the right things, which sometimes during the good times we all lose our way and spend money in areas where we shouldn't do. But make sure we're focused also on the future, because India will be back, and it's very important that we're prepared for that time as well.
But any range, Carl, that you can give us in terms of you want to bring down your debt level by this much, let's say by the end of the coming financial year, FY16, is there a range that as the MD you would personally be comfortable with?
It's an ongoing process. We all know what the economy is going to do. We all know what our fixed assets are and what the costs are over the next short period of time. It's very important for us to take a conservative approach. I think in the past everyone's always considered that the next quarter will be better, the next quarter will be better. However, now I think we've all realised that the silver lining is a little further away, and that helps you make the right decision. So I think that's the important thing. We make our decisions based on the long-term benefit of the company. The company isn't in any kind of trouble. You can see our focus has been on launching new cars, new trucks and new engines.
But is there a program of specifically designed for debt reduction?
It's part of our everyday life, cash management and debt equity ratios, etc. So there's no specific program, that's part of our life.
62 joint ventures and subsidiaries you have, Carl. How on earth, as a company, do you manage all of them? Is there time now, perhaps, you would look at exiting some of them? You've already shut down your bus making plant in Spain. Do we see more steps? 62, you would also agree, is a really big number.
They came about to Tata Motors for all the great reasons at the time, and many of them are very supportive and very important for us today. I know you'll only focus on 1 or 2 that you don't think are supportive, and you won't ask about the ones that are doing very well for us. But it's always important to make sure that as time changes, as the environment changes, we have a look at which ones are core business and which ones may not be. So again, that has to be part of our overall business model, and something that we start today, but we also ensure it's part of life as we go forward.
A couple of last things, Carl. Nigerian market recently, which is also a relatively important market for you, they have increased their overall import duties. And many say that because you're exporting both your passenger vehicles and your commercial vehicles, you could be hit more. Would you look at setting up some sort of a assembly line over there to assemble models so that your cars, your vehicles do not become uncompetitive in that market?
You pick one country, Nigeria. I'm not sure where you got that one from, but yes, the rules are changing in Nigeria, but that's the same the world over. Every market which starts off as an accepting a CBU import, something like that, eventually develops their import barriers to make sure that they generate something of employment, etc. inside the country. So Nigeria is something that we have a very long relationship with, and we have our plans for Nigeria, but that's not the only country. That's the same the world over as their import duties or FTAs, etc. make changes.
One final question, Carl. Many would say if you look at Tata Motors' Sons, Jaguar, Land Rover, as I said, the numbers don't look very good. And in fact, you're also raising a lot of debt on the books of Jaguar Land Rover. How do you make Tata Motors as a standalone entity profitable in the long run?
I think you've got to. You spent a lot of time looking at the finances, and obviously in our business it's very important to look at what it is that generates those finances. You've heard us talk about all the great things that we're doing about bringing in the product that causes the excitement that grows the business. You've seen that with JLR, so you know that in order to create the kind of excitement that I know you like and everybody else likes about those products, then you have to be able to do the right kind of things as far as development and engineering is concerned. The same thing that we're doing now with Tata Motors as well, and the same thing that's been happening with the truck business.
3,000 crore was your overall capex plan for your product development. You will maintain that in FY15?
Absolutely. It's very important, and we have full support of everyone that sees the kind of products that we want to bring to the market, that those are the right things to do. So Tata Motors is fully behind bringing to the market the right kind of products to excite the customers.
Thank you, Carl. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for